K-State had good success, or bad success, I guess, stopping Letty Brown. The two prior games, Letty Brown went for 100 plus, they won. How important is Letty Brown?
That's the deal, isn't it? I mean, that's the ticket. I think when we looked at that earlier, I think in the if you take the Long Island game out, where I'm not sure how many carries he had in that game, I believe in the 3 wins he's got over 100 yards, and in the 5 losses he's under 100. So that's the key for them. I think they want to play a physical brand of football. I think they're throwing it a little bit more than maybe they'd want to right now, and if they can get him going, they generally have success, and that's going to be the key, us stopping him early.
You typically, as a defense, want to get teams in 3rd and long, 3rd and medium, but is that even more important with what the pass rush has been doing lately?
Yeah, I mean, that's, and early in the year, we really struggled to do that. We were getting in 3rd down, but it was 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, and, kind of at the mercy. And I think they're probably preaching the same thing. We got to get ourselves in 3rd and manageable. And, it just opens up so many options, so many different coverage things you can do, so many different pressures that you can bring, let alone, cutting Felix and Nate and those guys loose. So that's been something we've been having some success with the last couple of weeks.
And finally, Oklahoma State, I think, had 8 sacks.
Yeah.
What did they do well?
Just relentlessness. I mean, it wasn't anything fancy. I thought there was some things that I think maybe 3 or 4 of them. I think they just brought 3 guys, I think they did some good things coverage-wise that made him hold the ball. I think there were a couple. I know there was one that was a screen pass that they defended really well, and he had to eat it. I mean, there were some things like that it wasn't just terrible offensive line play. I think there were some things that were circumstantial as well.
Daniel Green in both the last 2 games has had a really good tackle where he sniffs out the running back trying to get the edge and hits him in the backfield. What makes him so good on those kind of plays?
I think the design of the defense is to get the ball going to the perimeter, and I think he does such a good job of feeling his way through things inside out, and then he's not afraid to hit it when he sees an opening, and that's just the fact that he's playing fast is why he's making so many splash plays.
Switching gears a little bit, this is the first year in your new defensive scheme, so to speak. Has it almost kind of helped you know how to recruit it moving forward?
That's a great question. We've been talking a lot about that lately. Yeah, and early in the year that was a topic of discussion because we weren't sure where we were going to go and what we were going to be. I think the more that we are into this, I think it does become much more clear with where we want to go and the types of bodies, probably more so than anything that we want to recruit. And I know I can't say that we're there right now with our current roster exactly where we'd want to be, at every position, but we're working on it.
And is Reggie Stubblefield kind of a good example of that? It's kind of turned into a Swiss Army knife of sorts.
Yeah, and Reggie's just one of our best 11, and he's a good playmaker, and I don't know that he necessarily fits the prototype. It's a good example of what we want at that position, but he does give us some versatility to do some different things with him that we couldn't do with Khalid Duke or Ryan Hennington or Wayne Jones. We can stick him out there and play some man coverage with him. We can stick him out there and he's an effective blitzer. Can do a bunch of different zone drops. We can put him in the half field if we want to, and so we're gonna have to have some guys like that also. Tough to find.
We haven't seen really Echo Boydo get challenged that much this year, but he did have 2 pass breakups in the end zone against Kansas. Just kind of how would you rate his performance so far this year?
Steady Eddie. I mean, that's exactly where he's been. I mean, he's been on top of things. He's been good in his technique. He's been sound, and I sometimes it's a good thing when you don't hear a corner's name all that often. And I mean, he's tremendously fast, and so he's able to stay on top of routes. So there's been some times when people have wanted to take shots on him, it just hadn't been there. And it was good to see him play the ball like he did on Saturday, and I was especially sweet for him because he's a Lawrence kid, and I think that always is a little special when he's playing against KU.
What is it about West Virginia in the last 2 years that's made them a tough matchup?
They're tough. I mean, they're a tough physical team. They're well coached. They're methodical in what they do. They believe in what they do, and they just do it really well. And probably one of the more physical O-lines. I think that was our takeaway from it a year ago. That they were able to get that, a tremendous running back going behind a powerful offensive line. And when you rank the O-lines in the league, to me, they're in the top couple for sure. And they've been on top of that, they got good playmakers on the perimeter. I mean, really good receiving core. They utilize them well with their play action game and their drop back game for that matter. And they get those guys to the ball on screen plays and stuff, and they can make things happen after the catch. So I think it's a combination of just personnel and the attitude mentality of what they're doing as a program.
If I'm